The Legacy of the Forgotten Circle, Chapter 2, The Whisper of the Grove. The road to the Eternal Grove stretched through the verdant heart of Eldoria, where the air shimmered with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Elara and Garrick traveled swiftly, their horses' hooves pounding the earth as the spires of Highspire faded behind them. The two shards of the Forgotten Circle, now fused into a single pulsing fragment, hung from a leather cord around Elara's neck, concealed beneath her cloak. Its faint hum was a constant reminder of the weight she carried, not just the artifact, but the destiny it implied. The Eclipse Brethren's attack on Highspire had left no doubt. Vortigern's cult was relentless, and their pursuit of the Circle's fragments would only intensify. The Eternal Grove, home of the Sylvari, lay 3 days' ride to the north, beyond the rolling plains, and into a forest so ancient it was said to predate the mountains themselves. Legends told of its heart, a glade where the Sylvari seer, Lady Eldoria, communed with the spirits of the earth. If anyone could guide Elara to the next fragment, it was her, but the journey was fraught with peril. The Brethren's spies lurked in every shadow, and the wilds of Eldoria harbored creatures twisted by the lingering taint of the Void Lord's influence. By noon on the first day, the travelers reached the edge of the verdant expanse, a sprawling plain dotted with crumbling ruins from the Great War. The wind carried a chill, unnatural for the season, and Elara's senses sharpened. Garrick, his broadsword strapped across his back, scanned the horizon. "Something feels off," he muttered, his hand resting on the hilt. Elara nodded, her fingers brushing the shard. A faint vision flickered in her mind, a cloaked figure watching from afar, flanked by shapes that moved like liquid shadow. "We're not alone," she whispered. Their caution proved wise. As they crossed a stone bridge over a rushing stream, the air crackled with energy. From the ruins ahead, a dozen figures emerged, Brethren cultists, their black robes embroidered with crimson sigils that glowed like embers. At their center stood a woman with pale skin and eyes like burning coals, her hands wreathed in violet flames. She raised a staff, and the ground trembled as spectral vines erupted, blocking their path. "Hand over the shards, girl," the woman hissed, her voice a venomous rasp. "Vortigern sees all." Elara notched an arrow, her heart pounding but her aim steady. "You'll have to take them." The battle was swift and brutal. Garrick charged, his sword cleaving through 2 cultists before they could raise their arcane defenses. Elara's arrows flew, each finding its mark, but the woman, clearly a sorceress of some power, countered with a wave of flame that scorched the earth. Elara dove behind a fallen pillar, the heat singeing her cloak. The shard pulsed, and instinctively she channeled its energy. A gust of wind surged from her outstretched hand, extinguishing the flames and knocking the sorceress back. Garrick seized the moment, tackling the woman and pinning her staff. But the cultists rallied, summoning shadow beasts from the earth, hulking canine forms with claws that gleamed like obsidian. Elara fired, her arrows glowing faintly with the shard's power, felling one beast. Garrick roared, his blade a whirlwind, but a claw raked his shoulder, drawing blood. Desperate, Elara clutched the shard, its energy surging through her. A pulse of light erupted, blinding the beasts and scattering the cultists. The sorceress, recovering, snarled and unleashed a bolt of void energy. Elara dodged, but the blast grazed her arm, leaving a burning chill. Gritting her teeth, she fired an arrow that struck the sorceress's chest. The woman gasped, her flames flickering out as she collapsed. The remaining cultists fled, vanishing into the ruins. Elara rushed to Garrick, who grimaced but waved off her concern. "Just a scratch," he said, though blood seeped through his tunic. She tore a strip from her cloak, binding his wound, her hands trembling from the shard's lingering energy. "We can't linger," she said, glancing at the ruins. "They'll be back." They pressed on, the encounter a stark reminder of the Brethren's reach. That night, camping beneath a gnarled oak, Elara's dreams were troubled. The shard showed her visions. A glade bathed in emerald light, a Sylvari figure cloaked in mist, and a fragment hidden within a tree older than time. But darker images intruded, Vortigern's face, scarred and gaunt, chanting words that made her blood run cold. By dawn, they entered the outskirts of the Eternal Grove. The forest was a cathedral of towering trees, their canopies weaving a tapestry of green and gold. Sylvari scouts, silent as shadows, emerged to escort them. Their leader, a lithe warrior named Thalion with silver hair and a bow to rival Elara's, eyed the shard warily. "You bring danger to our home," he said, his voice melodic yet stern. "But Lady Eldoria awaits." The heart of the grove was a marvel, a glade where sunlight danced through leaves, illuminating a crystal pool. Lady Eldoria stood by it, her robes woven from living vines, her eyes glowing with an inner light. She was ancient yet ageless, her presence both calming and commanding. "The circle's echo stirs," she said, her voice like a breeze through leaves. "Show me the shard." Elara hesitated but complied, revealing the fused fragments. Eloria's fingers brushed it, and the glade pulsed with energy. "2 of 7, she murmured. The circle was broken into pieces, each hidden by the heroes of old. One lies within this grove, guarded by the elder tree. But the brethren seek it, and their taint has already reached our borders." She led them to the elder tree, a colossal oak whose roots sprawled like rivers. Its bark shimmered with runes, and a hollow at its base glowed faintly. "The fragment is within," Eldoria said, "but only one pure of purpose may claim it. The tree judges." Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding. As her hand entered the hollow, the tree's energy enveloped her. Visions assaulted her. The Great War, the circle's forging, and its shattering by the bearer. She saw herself standing at a crossroads, allies at her side, facing a darkness that dwarfed the Void Lord's reign. The tree's voice, deep and resonant, spoke. "You are worthy, but the path is perilous. Accept the burden." "I do," Elara whispered. A shard emerged, merging with hers in a flash of light. The fused piece thrummed with power, granting her a fleeting vision of the next fragment in the Durinfolk mines of Irondeep. But the moment was shattered by a scream. Thalion burst into the glade, bloodied. "The brethren attack! They've breached the grove!" Chaos erupted. Cultists poured from the trees, their robes blending with the shadows. Shadow beasts and summoned elementals, flame-wreathed hounds and stone golems, tore through the Sylvari defenses. Eldoria raised her hands, vines erupting to entangle foes, but a new figure emerged. A towering cultist clad in spiked armor, wielding a mace that pulsed with void energy. "The shard is ours," he roared. Elara and Garrick fought side by side, her arrows felling cultists, his sword cleaving beasts. Thalion joined them, his bow a blur, but the armored cultist advanced, shrugging off blows. Elara tapped the shard's power, summoning a wave of earth that staggered him. Garrick seized the chance, driving his sword through a gap in the armor. The cultist fell, but not before his mace grazed Elara, its void taint searing her mind with visions of despair. Eloria's magic turned the tide, her vines crushing the remaining foes. But the grove was scarred, trees burned, Sylvari wounded. Eldoria, weakened, knelt by the pool. "The brethren grow bolder," she said. "Vortigern's power swells in the wastes. You must go to Irondeep, seek Forgemaster Durak. He guards another fragment." Thalion, impressed by Elara's courage, offered to join them. "The grove's safety lies with you now," he said, slinging his bow. Elara accepted, grateful for his skill and knowledge of the wilds. As they prepared to leave, Eldoria gifted Elara a Sylvari talisman, a leaf-shaped pendant that glowed with protective magic. "It will shield you from the void's corruption," she said. "But beware, each fragment you claim strengthens you, but also draws Vortigern's gaze." The trio departed at dawn, heading south toward the Irondeep Mountains. The journey was tense. Signs of the Brethren's influence grew, villages abandoned, forests blighted. One night, camping in a ravine, they were ambushed by a lone assassin, a wanderer gone rogue, his eyes glowing with void taint. Thalion's arrows and Garrick's sword dispatched him, but his dying words chilled them. "Vortigern sees your every step. The wastes call." Elara clutched the shard, its visions showing a forge deep underground, where molten rivers guarded a fragment. But darker images lingered, Vortigern's forces amassing, and a traitor among allies yet to come. The road to Irondeep would test their resolve, and the Brethren's reach seemed endless. As they crested a hill, the Irondeep Mountains loomed, their peaks wreathed in storm clouds. Somewhere within, Forgemaster Durak awaited, and with him, another piece of the circle. But the Brethren were closing in, and Elara sensed the shard's power growing unstable, as if it yearned to be whole or to consume her. In the wastes, Vortigern's laughter echoed through his scrying orb. 3 shards claimed, he mused. But the game is far from over.